Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Horus Heresy box. This video is sponsored by the Game Bunker. More on that later. Alright, so we got the brand new Horus Heresy Launch Box Age of Darkness 3.0, and with it comes some new models. But it is worth note that unlike the typical launch box, this one does not include easy to build models. So all of the model kits inside this box are the traditional model kits. They are the full kits with maximum options, but also are going to take a lot more time to assemble, prepare, and get them ready for the tabletop. So we did build our Warhammer the Horus Heresy Saturnine box, and it did take quite a bit of time, quite a bit of effort, and it's definitely a lot of advanced kits. Nothing that the typical modeler is not going to be prepared for, but it is nice to have some tips and tricks to go along with it and make sure that your assembly goes as smooth as possible. So in this article, Games Workshop focusing in on the Saturnine Terminator construction advice, how to get the most out of your new tactical Dreadnought armor. Magnificent new Saturnine Terminators are now available in the Saturnite box for Warhammer the Horus Heresy Age of Darkness, and Forge Lords across the galaxy assembling their warriors. are assembling their warriors. These intricate multi-part kits can be assembled in dozens of different ways, thanks to the system of ball-jointed limbs that let you build each leg in one of 3 separate poses, or snip off the small peg to align them however you like. To help you get the most out of your Terminators, the design team behind them have put together a short guide of useful tips and tricks. So a lot of people have complained that Games Workshop has gone towards much more like unipose models or just giving you like limited options. The Saturnine Terminators have the old school like ball joint system, so they're going to give you a ton more options, but with that comes a lot more difficulty assembling. So I would say that even though this isn't traditionally like an expert kit, it's definitely not for the faint of heart. It's important to visualize the kind of pose that you might like for your model to have before start assembling. Is it an action pose depicting mid-movement? Is it looking heroic? Maybe stoically waiting for battle to begin? And here we can see 3 of the Saturnine Terminators assembled, and they are absolutely awesome models. Definitely looking forward to painting these up. Whatever you want to do, planning is key. There are a few different ways that you might want to approach things. Scribble a few ideas onto paper, then dry fit your Terminators, or sub-assemble them into the major limb parts, lower leg, lower arm, upper arm, etc., using adhesive putty to test out a few poses before committing with glue. Alright, and then here we have a step-by-step assembly guide. These steps show how you might go about assembling the Saturnine Terminators in your own way. 1. Glue the leading foot onto the base first. This makes it easier to handle all the bits and glue them together. 2. Glue the legs and waist section together. Pay attention to distribution of weight and make sure that the hips are square and the waist is fully upright. 3. Add the chest. Think about whether you want to add some twist and which direction the head might be looking once you add in step 5. 4. Glue on the arms. Thinking about what the Terminator is doing. Is he at rest or taking aim? You could look at the art in the front of the box for inspiration. 5. Glue in the head. Consider if he is looking where he's firing and the direction his leading foot is pointing. These 2 images show even with a single pose, by having the head in 2 different directions, you can dramatically change the feel of the miniature. Painting behind the head can be tricky, so it may be preferable to paint the back of the head socket black before you glue in the head, so you don't have to try to reach it with a brush. And then we have shoulder pad assembly. We found the easiest way to assemble the shoulder pads was to glue the ridge cable to the front half first, followed by the back piece, and add the inner support last. The shoulder pads can be kept as separate sub-assemblies while painting to make getting to the details easier. Now a quick word from today's sponsor, Game Bunker. Game Bunker carries a full range of Games Workshop products including miniatures, terrain, paint tools, and more. Game Bunker offers 15% off MSRP for most Games Workshop products with the discount code WHMS. Receive free shipping in the continental United States on orders over $145. Online orders ship out within 24 hours. Game Bunker is a veteran-owned business. Use affiliate link below, enter discount code WHMS to save 15% on most items at checkout. For fast, friendly service with a discount on your favorite tabletop wargaming purchases, visit GameBunker.net and let them know that Warhammer Man sent you. And then a little section on sub-assemblies, and I personally love sub-assemblies because I do quite a bit of airbrushing, and I want to make sure that I can get to all of the details when I am doing either airbrushing or painting with a brush. Anytime I can use some sub-assemblies to make the process easier, to make sure that I can get to the hard-to-reach details, I definitely take advantage of this. It's obviously a lot easier if you already have some experience with a kit, if you've already painted some of the models, but let's take a look at what Games Workshop has to say about it. Sub-assemblies. This image shows how you can first sub-assemble a limb of the Saturnine Terminator and then try out different poses using adhesive putty before you commit with glue. And then we have some further tips from the designer. Keep the feet flat to the ground. Poses often look more purposeful when the head is pointing in the same direction as one of the feet. For standing poses, keep both legs in their straightest position. Treat elbows like hinges, not ball joints, just like on a regular person. The kit is fully modular and is very flexible in its positioning, but bearing in mind some basic posing principles will help greatly in getting your own believable poses. The principles here also apply to the Saturnine Praetor, who could benefit even more from a unique pose to make him a centerpiece of your army. Alright, so probably not going to change the game for more experienced builders, but I do think it's important to take your time with this kit, especially if your experience is only with like the easy to build stuff or like your traditional 40k or Age of Sigmar kits. You're going to have a lot more options, but this is going to give you a lot more flexibility to make your models look like your own. I'm definitely a huge proponent of dry fitting and sub-assemblies, so it is important to try it first and then glue it later. But overall, definitely looking forward to diving into this kit myself. I'm going to be building up some Terminators. I'm going to be building the Dreadnought, the Praetors, definitely that new turret. And I'm really looking forward to the actual painting process. So let me know if you have any additional tips or tricks that you would recommend after assembling your own models. Anything that you found useful that helped out during assembly. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. And as always, special thanks to the Game Bunker for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on most Games Workshop products with code WHMS at checkout. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.